yesterday about how Parker is essentially concerned that people are calling Bitcoin a commodity and not money. People are forgetting that it's money, and this is essentially the bargain right now with politicians. It's like, you know what? Bitcoin isn't money; it's a commodity. You don't have to worry about it. But we all fundamentally have to remember it is money. And the IMF fears that Bitcoin is money so much that they literally drew a line in the sand and said, El Salvador, no, you can't do this. And we break it down, first principles, and then I'm going to shut up and pass it to Rajat, okay? Why do they fear it? Why do they fear it? The reason they fear it is because the longer Bitcoin exists, the longer it proves that money can exist without inflation. Currency debasement and inflation happen to be one of the primary funding mechanisms for world governments worldwide. And if Bitcoin is considered, if Bitcoin is put on a level playing field, it's equal legally to the US dollar, and it's a superior currency, politicians are going to be put in a very, very difficult position because they're going to have to explain to their populations why inflation is necessary in order for money to function. There's been a social contract for property tax. There's been a social contract for sales tax. There's been a social contract for income tax. But there is no social contract for money tax. There doesn't exist. They're relying on you not knowing any better. And you see this when politicians try to gaslight you by giving you all these reasons as to why inflation is happening. It's the war. It's the supply chains. It's the pandemic. It's the weather. I'm not kidding. Like, they've released articles blaming the weather, the inflation on the weather, right? They blame everything and anything but themselves, but they are literally the sole cause. There is no other cause. It's central banks and governments issuing more money, increasing the money supply, therefore causing monetary debasement and inflation. That's what it's about. This is a narrative game. This is narrative trench warfare on the battlegrounds of the internet. Nayib Bukele was humiliating them with memes. Elon Musk got involved. Elon Musk is one of the most influential, popular people. He's throwing a laughing emoji. It embarrasses them. And they say, you know what? We're going to show our big stick and show everybody who's in charge. And that's what's happening. But the silver lining about all of this is that they have now officially exposed who they are and what it's about. It's always been about control. And now there's no shadow of a doubt, and they fear Bitcoin. They're terrified of Bitcoin, and they're willing to show their true intentions in order to try to stop it. Anyways, Rajat, monologue over. This is crazy. Historic day in Bitcoin's history. They're trying to stop the inevitable. This is just going to delay things, if anything. But yeah, man, I mean, from a nation state adoption standpoint, the IMF holds a considerable amount of influence and control over so many countries worldwide. Now they're basically saying any of those countries, any of those 94 countries that have loans with the IMF, don't even dare thinking about buying Bitcoin because we won't give you those SDRs. We won't give you those loans. Rajat.